Good evening. Thank you for tuning in to ENGL News at 10. My name is Paige Bryan. I will be discussing the alleged Twitter war between authors Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois. Apparently the war got heated, so tonight I will show you a screen capture of the Twitter war itself and we'll be discussing what was said. Take a look here. Though it is not seen here, Washington officially starts the Twitter war by saying in all things that are purely social, we can be as separate as the fingers, yet one as the hand in all things essential to mutual progress. Washington tweets this before his speech at the Atlanta Exposition. He wants equality, but he wants the African Americans to work to show the whites that they are equal. Then Du Bois responds and the fight officially starts. Mutual progress cannot be achieved without fighting for civil equality together. Without civil equality, African Americans will not have the means to become educated and therefore successful in the future. We must spend more on higher education for the African Americans, for without educated individuals, we do not have the means or influence to change the oppressive laws in this country. Du Bois really shows his discontent with Washington here. How else could you get what you deserve without fighting for it? And who would help if very few people are educated enough to fight alongside him? Washington then says, "Cast down your bucket where you are. Cast it down, making friends in every manly way of people of all races by who we are surrounded." Washington fires back at Du Bois with this tweet. He's calling out Du Bois since he was one of his students. He is fighting Du Bois off by saying that if the African Americans earn the respect of the whites by working hard, then they can be equal. He calls out Du Bois for his lack of knowledge on the subject in order to create equality, saying that they cannot just have it handled, they need to earn it. Du Bois then says, "I cannot stand here and allow Washington to tell us to be submissive to a government which is at fault for the oppression of our people. One cannot have self-respect and be submissive towards the civic inequality present today. Changing any policy relies on definite action to obtain any progress." You can really see their differing opinions here. Washington is telling his followers to cast down their buckets and make friends, while Du Bois wants to make a more aggressive approach in achieving equality. Though you got a good glimpse of the Twitter war itself, Washington continues the war by saying, "White people and black people are equal. We share the same problems, but we must open our eyes to see this in order to ensure the future generations' well-being." Washington tweets back at Du Bois with this tweet. Clearly, we see that Washington is trying to call out his former student and prove him wrong in front of everyone. Washington respects Du Bois, but they have different views on how to gain equality, and Washington thinks he is the one who is correct since he is older and wiser. Du Bois then says, "Mr. Booker T. Washington has provided a ground from which we stand to get our voice heard, and we shall use this opportunity to fight for the rights we deserve, not accept our inferiority to the white man." Du Bois gives Washington some slack by acknowledging his contribution to the plight of African Americans, but further pushes those who support Washington to be less passive in accepting their place in society as it is. Washington then says, "My experience with them, as well as every other event in my life, convinced me that the thing to do, when one feels sure that he has said or done the right thing, and is condemned, is to stand still and keep quiet. If he is right, time will show it." Du Bois talked about how he was right and Washington was wrong. He says that they can choose his way or Du Bois, but time will tell who is right, in a cocky way, giving the impression that he is right and they will see. Washington then says, "No man whose vision is borrowed by color can come in contact with what is highest and best in the world." Washington tweets this calling out Du Bois, as Du Bois focuses on race and how they should have equality, but Washington focuses on how they should work hard and prove it, and not worry about focusing on color. As you can tell, that Twitter war was quite heated. Who knows if it'll ever end? However, tune in tomorrow night to ENGL News to get updates on the battle between Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.